This Valentine's Day season, the spotlight in entertainment isn't on picture-perfect love stories but on the darker, more tumultuous side of romance. Toxic relationships are dominating screens big and small, captivating audiences with their intensity and drama. A prime example is the upcoming film adaptation of Wuthering, set to premiere just before the holiday, featuring Margot Robbie as Kathy and Jacob Elordi as Heathcliff. Marketed as a passionate love story, it draws from the classic 1847 novel, but anyone familiar with the tale knows that the bond between these characters is far from healthy. It's destructive, obsessive, and filled with pain. On television, shows like Hulu's Tell Me Lies, now in its third season, continue to draw viewers in with the chaotic entanglement between Lucy, played by Grace Van Patten, and Stephen, portrayed by Jackson White. Their relationship is a roller coaster of manipulation, betrayal, and emotional highs and lows that keep fans hooked. Adding to the mix is Ryan Murphy's new series Love Story, debuting around the same time on FX and Hulu, which delves into the stormy real-life marriage of John F. Kennedy Jr. and Carolyn Bessette Kennedy, brought to life by actors Paul Kelly and Sarah Pidgeon. This dramatization highlights the volatility that marked their union, blending glamour with underlying turmoil. Experts in relationships weigh in on why these narratives resonate so deeply. A relationship therapist and podcast host emphasizes that there's no harm in enjoying fictional depictions of toxic love, as long as viewers recognize them for what they are, not ideals to aspire to but entertaining escapes. The fascination, she explains, boils down to a universal human tendency. We all have a morbid curiosity for disasters unfolding, much like rubbernecking at a train wreck. This voyeuristic appeal has been amplified by the rise of reality television, which has normalized watching personal conflicts play out in real time. From a psychological perspective, this attraction ties into something called repetition compulsion. It's that inner drive to revisit unresolved emotional wounds, the love that slipped away, the unrequited affections, or the affections that were never fully realized. When we see characters on screen chasing after or enduring such loves, it strikes a chord, allowing us to identify and perhaps process our own past experiences vicariously. The timing of this trend in 2026 isn't coincidental. We're living in an age of widespread emotional exhaustion, where people are seeking distractions from daily stresses. The therapist points out that amid burnout, individuals crave something to jolt them out of numbness. Toxic love stories provide that intensity, which many mistake for true aliveness. In uncertain times, when life feels unpredictable, the raw emotion in these tales can masquerade as genuine intimacy, offering a temporary thrill. Another relationship expert and dating coach shares a more optimistic view, suggesting that the prevalence of these stories in media isn't necessarily alarming. Instead, it can spark valuable conversations. By portraying toxic dynamics, shows and films open the door to discussions about what makes a relationship unhealthy, things like constant power struggles, emotional manipulation, or codependency. This awareness can empower people to reflect on their own lives, identifying red flags and seeking healthier connections. She stresses the importance of turning these narratives into productive dialogues, providing tips for real-world application. The timeless nature of toxic romance stems from fundamental human needs, the desire to connect, to love and be loved. Since so many relationships fail due to these very issues, audiences remain perpetually interested. It's a mirror to our own vulnerabilities, reminding us of the complexities in seeking companionship. However, the therapist warns of potential dangers when fiction blurs with reality. If viewers start expecting or tolerating similar toxicity in their partnerships, it can lead to harmful patterns. The key is discernment, enjoying the drama without emulating it. For some, watching Wuthering or similar stories serves as a reflective tool. It prompts self-questioning. What boundaries will I set? What do I truly desire in a partner? This introspection can foster personal growth, turning entertainment into a catalyst for better relationships. Biologically, there's more at play. Toxic romances feed into our dopamine addiction, the brain's reward system that lights up with excitement, similar to the rush from social media notifications or thrill-seeking activities. In these stories, the cycle of love being given and withdrawn creates addictive highs. The uncertainty and emotional stakes trigger dopamine releases, making the narrative compelling and hard to turn away from. Our culture's current obsession with dopamine-driven experiences exacerbates this. We're wired for adventure, and emotional risks provide that without real-world consequences. The push-pull dynamic in toxic pairs mimics this, keeping viewers engaged through suspense and resolution. Expanding on Wuthering, The story's endurance lies in its raw portrayal of passion unchecked by reason. Kathy and Heathcliff's bond is all-consuming, blending love with vengeance and despair. The new film promises to capture this essence, drawing modern audiences into the gothic turmoil. Tell Me Lies exemplifies how contemporary series sustain interest by evolving toxic elements across seasons. Lucy and Stephen's interactions evolve, revealing layers of deceit and dependency that mirror real-life entanglements. Love Story brings historical intrigue, romanticizing the Kennedys' marriage while exposing its fractures. It's a blend of admiration and cautionary tale. Experts agree that while these stories entertain, they shouldn't define love. Healthy relationships build on trust, respect, and stability, not drama.